So we heard a lot about the unbundling of bank and sort of the challenges and opportunities around that this morning from our panelists. But how much of this is actually overhyped? How much will Fintech now be less about unbundling, but more about working together? Alex from Everlance, who just presented, mentioned this quote from Alex Rampell at Andreessen Horowitz, which does really get to the nature of the problem. Is the battle between every startup and incumbent, especially in financial services, come down to whether the startup gets distribution before the incumbent gets innovation. And we are seeing a changing tone, both by financial services incumbents as well as startups. Here you see a quote from Jamie Dimon regarding their partnership with On Deck Capital. Fintech ventures often offer the kind of stuff we don't want to do or can't do, but there's somebody else who can do it and probably do it well. And we also seeing this from startups. TransferWise previously had the slogan to their website, "Bye bye banks," and now you see sort of a changing tone there as well, where they're canvassing the US for bank partners. And you see here the quote by them: "We should go to where the consumers will be, and not everyone will come directly to TransferWise to transfer money." So here, you see this now translating to a wave of partnerships. We'll talk a little bit to the degree of these partnerships with the panelists, but early partnerships by Movin and TD Bank, Funding Circle and Santander, and extending into other areas as well. Some of those, marketplace lending probably being the most notable. We just saw a big partnership just recently with On Deck Capital and Intuit, where they announced a $100 million joint fund to back loans. We're seeing others. Payments has also been a big area for some significant partnerships. We're seeing it now into this growing landscape of insurance tech, and whether we'll see more meaningful partnerships there as well. And then blockchain, we have both Jaidev and Luis, who are both investors in a company called Chain, which I think they might talk a little bit about. But blockchain also seeing a host of partnerships between various financial services firms as well as startups in the space. So some open questions that the panelists will be discussing. Efficacy, it's the big topic in partnerships between financial services firms and startups. How is this measured? Our panelists will touch on that. What does this success look like beyond just a press release, especially in areas where there's quite a few unknowns, like blockchain, where we're seeing quite a few partnerships. And partnerships are hard. Startups and incumbents might start as partners, but over time they may grow to compete with one another, as we've seen in numerous instances